Hi guys. So I got my first troll attack on this channel. I have another channel with about 29,000 subscribers and over 1,000 videos. And when you start, when you first start off, nothing really happens. But when you start getting to like 100 subscribers or more, you start getting attacks. Well, I put quotation marks around the word attacks. These guys are just envious people, right? So this is a video I did recently. It was called "This is why I moved to Bali, and you can too." And I'll show you the comments, and I'll break it down. And I just want to say one thing: that when people try and put you off from moving to another country, and say you might want to move to Bali or Thailand or some other tropical country, people are going to try and put you off. There'll be some. It's not necessarily that they're evil people or got bad intentions for you. It's just because they're concerned for you. They don't want to see you fail or whatever. And a lot of people listen to the news and all that, and they never investigate themselves in a lot of cases, and they think some places are bad, quote unquote. So anyway, this is the comment. I'll go over it and just show you, if you're thinking of coming to Bali, what nonsense this comment is. And you can see there's no photo of the guy, and the name is just MRMR314. So he can't put his name up, so there's no real credibility here. But he says, well, he's talking about my commentary in the video. He says, well, you're off base on any number of accounts. Indonesia has been markedly cooler over the past few years due to more wind, in brackets, especially in Jakarta. But that seasonal anomaly will swing around again sooner or later. It is screaming hot, especially during June, July, and August, dry season. Now, and during Muslim Hujjah rainy season, it pisses down and floods all the time, delivering lots of mosquitoes and sometimes illnesses. This guy is talking absolute nonsense, right? I'm talking about Bali, right? Every day in Bali for the last 9 months I've been here, nearly every single day it's been 30 degrees, occasionally 29, occasionally 31, but nearly every day it's been 30. Maybe there's been 1 or 2 days when it's 32, but anyway, so he's completely wrong there. He's looking at the whole of Indonesia. So I'm thinking this guy has never even been to Bali. And if he has, the reason why he's making these negative comments, which I'll go over, is because he failed there, but in terms of living there. So anyway, he carries on. And the truth of the matter is, mate, it's hardly rained here at all since I've been here. And when it does rain, it usually rains in the nighttime in the wet season. So again, I haven't seen much rain whatsoever. Also, you are relatively young, quote unquote, and fit and haven't run out of money yet. Well, I disagree. I'm not as young as I sound. But anyway, and he says, I haven't run out of money yet. Well, why would I? I work and I've got plenty of money coming in. So it doesn't, but he puts in the word yet, right? So again, it seems to me like the guy's come over and he's failed. He ran out of money. So he's projecting, what's called projecting here. Anyway, you're showing the nightlife, but not paying for it. So earlier that night, I had a restaurant meal, right? I do quite a few nights of the week. I go there on the beach on one of the bean bags, and we'll have a meal, whether it's me and my partner or just me. I will have meals there, but he's trying to say that I'm poor and I show the nightlife, but I'm not paying for it. So what you're doing is living cheap. I don't think. Well, in some respects, I am. The apartment I live in is $600 a month. Now, the same apartment, if it was in Sydney, would be, I would say, $3,500 to $4,000 a month. In Adelaide, you're looking at probably 3,000. Brisbane, a bit more. Melbourne, a bit more. But Yeah, so yeah, I'm living cheap. Why not? But the truth of the matter is a meal, a big coconut and a plate of, say, calamari or something like that, or a fish and chips, some sort of meal at the restaurant there, is usually about $15. So, yeah, whether you want to call that cheap or not, but I'm not going to do that every night. Anyway, he says, so what you are doing is living cheap, which gets monotonous. Or given you have mentioned your troubles, you have some dough, and then he puts in brackets for now. It's like the guy's trying to say you're going to eventually lose all your money, or you're going to run out of money. Wait until you get older and you need health treatments all the time. Well, to answer that question, doesn't matter where you are, you're going to get older and you're going to eventually need some sort of health treatments. Maybe, my mother, for example, went to hospital one time in her life to get a cataract taken out. She was in hospital for one day and she lived to 94, 95. So, not necessarily. Now, I eat a very organic diet. I don't eat sugar products. I don't overdo it on fatty foods, or anything like that. Hardly any processed foods. So, and I exercise daily. So I'm not one of these guys that, harp on this fact, oh, I'll need medical and all this sort of stuff, like a lot of these beer swilling um, expats, expatriates, that is, people move to another country, do, and maybe smoke and eat garbagey food, lots of fast food and all that. I don't. So I'm not planning on spending the last years of my life in a hospital. Anyway, wait until you get older, need health treatments all the time. It's like, well, I'm not going to be needing them all the time. Anyway, or if something goes wrong, like a hip, knee, shoulder, skin cancer, and so on. Well, my body feels freaking good right now. And make sure, and it doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter. That's going to happen eventually anywhere, right? It doesn't matter if you're in Bali or Australia or wherever. And make sure, okay, you never have an accident like car, motorcycle, pedestrian, etc. That can happen anywhere. Indonesia is transient for the visitors. That's a total generalization. Everyone, here's another generalization, eventually runs out of money or gets bored and leaves. Absolute crap. There are tens of thousands of, well, in Bali, tens of thousands of Australians who live here their whole lives. They move here and live the rest of their lives in Bali, and there's hundreds of thousands of Australians that go to the Philippines, Bali, of course, I just said, in other parts of Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, whatever, New Zealand, anywhere, man. And there's just tens of millions of people that move overseas to different countries. So just crazy stuff here. He says everyone eventually runs out of money or gets bored and leaves. And if you want to live there with the locals, you need to speak Bahasa Indonesia, which obviously you do not. He's put in brackets. Well, actually, I'm learning, so I can't speak a lot of the basic terms, and I'm learning every week. So again, sorry, mate, you're wrong. You are also on a tourist visa only. So if you really want to live, quote unquote, in Indonesia, you need to organize it properly and pay for it all. And the truth is, I'm actually looking at other visas, but I'm quite happy to stay in here for 30 days and then get a visa extension, as I have done for the last 10 months, and then go to another country. Like I've just come back from Australia 2 days ago, and a few months ago, I went to Singapore. A few months before that, Thailand. Earlier than that, I went to the Philippines. Earlier than that, it was Australia again. And earlier than that was Thailand again. So, mate, I'm happy to do that at this point in time. So, anyway, he says, Oh, and he says immigration eventually won't allow you to keep on coming in on simple tourist visas. That's nonsense. I've asked a visa guy, and I also asked the customs officer at the airport the other day, and that's completely false what the guy says. Because you don't know what you are doing in Indonesia, really? Okay, okay. Bali is just the country's Gold Coast. Well, that's where I'm living, mate. Right? I'm not living the whole of Indonesia. You will come undone eventually. Really? Okay. The locals are indeed friendly, which I mentioned in the video, but over time, only if you are spending money. Well, to be honest, and in brackets, he says that's the whole point of them allowing their island to be overrun with foreigners. But enjoy it while it lasts. Well, the truth of the matter is, I talk to people all the time here, and they are much more friendly, generally speaking, than Australians. Right? You can talk to anybody, sit on the bus, they'll talk to you, talk to a waiter, waitress. You can talk to people walking down the street. They are much friendlier, and these people, you're not spending money with them. They're just a naturally more friendly people. They're island type people that essentially are used to communicating to people. They're more humble. They're more straight down the line. And to them, relationships is more important than materialism, which in the Western world, materialism is by far more, it's more by far more important than it is to Indonesians and Southeast Asian people in general. There certainly are greedy Southeast Asian type people, and there certainly are very humble Western type people as well. So, but we're talking exceptions, and generally speaking, the Western people are far more materialistic and have got less time for you, and Southeast Asian people are less materialistic and have got more time for you. They get more joy from communication than having shit, material shit and striving for that. So anyway, I'll say it again. This is obviously a guy who's projecting or has never even been to Indonesia or never been to Bali or whatever. But I'll just say it again, as I said at the start, there's going to be people that are going to try and stop you from going and, living your dream in another country. But it might not necessarily be like this guy, and it's out of envy and jealousy and all that, or the fact that he could be projecting because he failed himself, but it could just simply be because they're concerned about you. They watch the news and all this, the idiot box, which is one thing I always say to people: throw it in the bin. Do not watch TV, and basically get a negative opinion, because most of the news programming, and then that's what it is programming, is to show negative news. Right? They rarely show anything positive. So that's my 20 cents worth. Do what you follow your dream. If you want to move overseas to Bali or Thailand or wherever, go for it. Don't listen to anyone who's trying to stop you, whether it's for good or bad reasons. Thank you very much. Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe and make some comments. Has this happened to you? And have somebody stopped you from doing what you wanted to do? And if you've got any questions about Bali, ask me, please, or Southeast Asia, Philippines, Malaysia, wherever. Thank you very much, and have a great day. And thumbs up, as I said. Please subscribe if you haven't.